Tenderay Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. K is for Kroger, C is for cut, B is for beef. KCB means Kroger cut beef, and Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. Yes, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. And the reason is this. Before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Mind you, that's before the meat is weighed and priced, which means more meat for your money. And it's top U.S. government grades of beef. It's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Yes, in Kroger cut beef, you get a better value in top-grade beef. For example, take a specific cut of beef, say a Kroger cut chuck roast. Before the roast is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess waste and stringy meat. That means you get a better value because you get more solid meat, only a minimum of bone. Yes, you receive more meat, less waste, whether you buy a steak or roast. So visit your neighborhood Kroger store soon. Make it a rule to get Kroger cut beef. It gives you more meat for your money. And now, Hearts in Harmony. The shock of losing Barry Carlton, the shattering of her dreams of marrying him, and the strain of the days that followed were finally more than Penny Gibbs could stand. Suddenly, as if her heart had stopped, she collapsed. It's an hour later now, and Dr. Ryan is at her bedside. Penny says,
"Oh, Dr. Ryan, what's the matter with me? I fell all right. I was in the yard playing Let's Pretend with Julie. And then it happened. What caused it?"
It's a very natural thing, Penny. You've had a terrible shock. You've been under a heavy emotional strain for days. Your nerves couldn't take it any longer.
Well, then it's not serious. Nothing to worry about.
It's something you must do something about, Penny.
What?
First, rest. The body is a marvelous mechanism, a machine of great stamina and fortitude. But it can be pushed just so far and no further. Then it balks. That's what's happened to you. You were riding a crest held up by sheer willpower, but suddenly the wave broke and down you came.
Well, then, if I rest, I'll be all right.
I said first you must rest, Penny. And after we've seen the results of rest, then we'll know better what to prescribe to make you feel like new again.
You think I'm a sissy, don't you?
On the contrary, I think you're anything but a sissy. You withstood this recent shock a little too well. You forced yourself to stand up under a strain that was really too much for you. Had you allowed yourself to succumb to all the emotions of heartbreak, you would have relieved yourself a great deal of tension and spared yourself this collapse.
Oh, Dr. Ryan, I'm so ashamed of myself. I didn't want to act this way.
Your body and its nervous system acted for you, Penny. This has been only a mild collapse. Had you been able to hold on much longer, the collapse would have been worse and your condition far more serious. Now, you just stay in bed for a few days and think as little as possible.
Hard not to think, Dr. Ryan.
But it's important that you don't.
All right, how can I stop thinking?
Fill your mind with other things.
Oh, that's not so easy when my mind's already full. There's no room left for other thoughts.
Then you must get rid of some of the thoughts you have and make room. This is an unprofessional way of saying it, but actually your heart is doing your thinking for you right now, not your head.
It's all the same, Dr. Ryan, in my heart or in my head.
But your heart's ruling, and you can't allow it.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Penny, that doesn't sound like you.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so am I. You sound as if you're giving up. And the Penny Gibbs I know doesn't give up.
I guess I'm just tired.
Keep thinking and talking as you do, and you'll stay tired.
Dr. Ryan, I'll think differently in a little while.
Promise?
Yep, I promise.
That's better. Now I'm going to give you a prescription, Penny. It's just a mild sedative, something to take the edge off those nerves and let you relax. Take one every 3 hours if and when you're awake.
All right.
If you feel stronger and more relaxed by, let's say day after tomorrow, just take 2 a day. One before breakfast and one before the evening meal. And by the end of the week, you should be yourself again.
Oh, that's good. I certainly don't like being this way.
I know you don't. Well, I'll drop in and see how you're doing tomorrow. You should be a lot better even by then. Goodbye, Penny. And remember what I told you about not thinking.
I'll remember, Dr. Ryan.
Fine. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Bye, Penny.
Oh, Dr. Ryan,
Dr. Ryan, how is she?
As well as can be expected, Mrs. Billings.
But she's going to be all right?
I hope so. The speed and nature of her recovery are more up to her than to medicine.
Oh.
This is not illness, Mrs. Billings. This is nerves.
A nervous breakdown?
You might call it that. I prefer to call it a nervous upset due to extreme unhappiness. That's why I say her recovery is up to her.
Oh, but Penny will never be able to forget what's happened to her. Her life was wrapped up in that young man. And when he was forced to walk out of her life, well, you know what it did to her.
Yes, I can see. But nonetheless, she must subdue the memory of that boy and set her dreams aside for another day. Starting right now, she must find new things to think about, new things to do, new interests. Perhaps new friends. Otherwise, this is just the beginning of a long and serious illness.
Oh, I hope she'll be all right. We'll help her all we can.
You must, Mrs. Billings. Sorrow can go deep if it lingers in the heart for too long a time.
No.
Sorrow can affect the mind and cause the body to waste away. And the only medicine for sorrow is cheerfulness. Bring Penny something she can't resist laughing at, or make her smile sincerely. Smile because she has to. That'll be the first sign that she's getting well.
Well, we'll do everything we can to cheer her up, Dr. Ryan. But do you really know what's going on in her mind?
Yes, Mrs. Billings, I do. And I didn't have to probe for it with a stethoscope. It's there in her eyes and in the drawn face. She's not the Penny Gibbs of 10 days ago. She's a woman in great pain, and pain that can't be eased by salve or sedative, but by forgetfulness. Mrs. Billings, we all have to do everything we can to make her forget Barry Carlton and how she lost him.
I know.
When we've done that...
Mrs. Billings! Miss Gibbs!
That's Nora. Just come back from her honeymoon.
Well, the bride is home. Sorry I couldn't come to her wedding.
Oh, you're upstairs, Mr. Billings. Well, thank you. Mrs. Billings! Miss Gibbs, I'm home!
I'm up here, Nora.
Oh, crickets, Mrs. Billings. Everything is so quiet.
Oh, did you have a nice honeymoon, darling?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Billings, and I... Oh, crickets, I didn't know you were here, Dr. Ryan. Is somebody sick?
Penny isn't feeling well, Nora.
Oh, no.
Oh, but it's nothing serious. It's just the after
I've
effects.
been having such a wonderful time, and Miss Gibbs is...
It's just nerves, Nora, from the strain she's been under. Now, why don't you go in and see her, dear? I'm sure you'll cheer her up.
Oh, is it all right?
I heartily recommend it, Mrs. Lang.
All right, then. Oh, it still sounds funny when people call me Mrs. Lang. I sometimes almost don't answer.
You'll get used to it, Nora. Mrs. Lang.
Oh, now you're just teasing me, Dr. Ryan.
Oh, you're just helping you get used to it, Nora. Oh, you look lovely, dear.
Thank you.
I think it'll do Penny a lot of good just to look at you.
Well, I'll go in and see her. Well, goodbye, Dr. Ryan.
Goodbye, Nora. Well, as I was saying, Mrs. Billings, all Penny needs is rest at first. Something to keep her mind off of that.
Come in. Oh, may I come in, Miss Gibbs? Oh, Nora, darling, of course you can. Oh, Miss Gibbs, I think it's just awful that you're sick.
I'm not sick, darling. I just turned sissy and couldn't take it anymore. I'll be fine in a few days, though.
You've just got to be.
Oh, Nora. Darling, you look more beautiful than ever.
That's because the light is bad in here.
No, you know you look lovely. Turn around, let me look at you.
All right. You like this dress?
Mm-hmm.
It's new. Freddie bought it for me just because I said I wanted one like it someday.
It's lovely. It's lovely and just perfect for you. Come on, sit down. Tell me all about your honeymoon.
Oh, it was just super, Miss Gibbs. But Cricket's much too short. But Freddie had to be out of the farm by today, you know.
Yes, I know. Where is he, downstairs?
No, he just dropped me at the door and drove right out to the farm. We had car trouble just outside of Wayne City, so Freddie was late.
Oh, the boss of a farm doesn't have to worry about being late, does he?
Well, I guess now that we own the farm, Freddie's going to work harder than ever.
I suppose so. Oh, Nora, tell me about your trip. What did you see? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Well, we went to the shore and stayed at a beautiful hotel right on the water.
Mm-hmm.
And Cricket's, it was awfully expensive, and I didn't want Freddie to spend the money, but he said when he took his wife anywhere, it had to be the best.
Sounds just like him.
Oh, he was wonderful to me, Miss Gibbs. Every minute was like an exciting party with just the two of us. We had breakfast in bed one morning, and lunch on a boat, and dinner out on an open porch under the stars with beautiful music playing everywhere. Oh, there were hundreds of people there, but everywhere we went, it seemed that we were just the two of us.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Cozy, isn't it?
Oh, Crickets, Miss Gibbs, it's just scrumptious. I guess we looked silly to the other people there, but we didn't care.
You shouldn't have cared, Nora.
It was your honeymoon, not theirs.
Oh, we did meet another couple on their honeymoon, too. Oh, they were awfully nice, but lots older. And Mr. Jameson, that's the man who was on his honeymoon, he tried to give Freddie advice on how to handle a wife. And Mrs. Jameson tried to give me advice on how to handle a husband. And when Freddie and I compared notes after we said goodnights, and we laughed for hours. And because their advice was so opposite, we're just sure they're going to spend their lives fighting.
Oh, let's hope not. Oh, well, come on, tell me some more about it.
Oh, well, there's so much to tell, I don't know where to begin. I didn't think I could have so much fun in so few days. And the days seemed all the shorter because I was so happy. Oh, crickets, Miss Gibbs, Freddie is the sweetest person in all the world. There were flowers in the room every morning when I woke up, and a little surprise present waiting for me when we got back at night.
Oh, darling, I'm so glad. You know, Nora, you've had those wonderful days that every girl looks forward to and then remembers all her life.
I'll never forget them, Miss Gibbs. And if I never have another happy day as long as I live, I'll be satisfied.
You've had those days, Nora, because you deserved them. But there'll be still happier ones to come, I'm very sure.
And, Miss Gibbs, we spent hours dreaming about the things we're going to do.
Oh, Nora.
And Freddie says...
No, go on, it's all right.
Oh, Miss Gibbs, I shouldn't have said all those things. Oh, I was so happy I didn't think.
I'll be all right, darling. It isn't your fault.
But it is. I should have had more sense. Oh, Miss Gibbs, I feel so sorry for you. I don't know what to say or what to do.
No, don't feel sorry for me. I don't want sympathy. I only want strength.
Strength, Miss Gibbs?
Yes, darling. Strength to fight not only the tears, but the reason for them. It's all I want. It's all I need.
Well, could I help in any way?
No, darling. No, I'm afraid this is entirely up to me. I'll find my strength somewhere, and I'll forget everything. I will because I know I must, Nora.
Is Penny's determination going to save her from the serious illness Dr. Ryan fears? Or will the memory of a lost love be too strong for Penny to overcome? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. KCB. KCB. KCB means Kroger cut beef, and Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. That's right. Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. Because before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. For example, if porterhouse steak is your favorite, you'll find that at Kroger's you don't pay steak price for stringy ends and waste. The Kroger method of cutting beef removes the long, stringy end and excess waste before the steak is weighed and priced. But see for yourself by visiting your Kroger store. Notice that you get more meat, less waste. And it's top U.S. government grades of beef. Beef that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Remember, whether you buy a steak or roast, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat for your money. Yes, everybody's happy when you go to your neighborhood Kroger store for Kroger cut beef. Your family loves the deliciousness, the juicy flavor of Kroger beef. You love the way it cooks up so perfectly. And your pocketbook loves the fact that Kroger cut beef gives you more meat for your money. Get some without delay. Make it a rule to get Kroger cut beef and get more meat, less waste at your neighborhood Kroger store. Be sure to listen in tomorrow, same time, same station, for another absorbing transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.